Hey, good morning, fuckers, and welcome to another day at the Daily BM. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome. Welcome.
Hey, before we get started, I just want to say I'm super stoked, super excited. We are going to be in Lakeland, Florida's Sun and Fun Fly-In. Yes, we will. We will have dates for everybody. We're going to go up, hopefully, from what I understand, we're going to both single. You're going to go in one plane, and I'm going to go in another. And we're going to be able to roll some video and see the different reactions of Mike and myself, which I hate to fly, just so you know. I like to fly, but I hate to fly. So I'm scared to death. And,
I've never been excited.
And Mike is super stoked, but he's been in small planes and yada, yada, yada. But I have not. I've
never been in an acrobatic plane. I've never done rolls.
Yeah,
so
and if he does a roll or he turns sideways, you're going to see me scream, cry like a little chick. Yeah, you're going to see me like a little baby.
You'll be like, you're just gonna pass out. You'll be like,
yeah. If he does, like, if it's not a fighter jet, I mean, shit. If it was a fighter jet, I would definitely pass out from the G's.
It still pulls G's when you turn.
I bet it doesn't pull 9 G's. You know what I mean, or anything, or 7 G's.
No, but I know when I did it. I know when I went to a quick dive on my little Cessna. Even
I'm sweating, dude. Stop.
When you definitely come out of your seat. It's like a roller coaster.
Why do you do this shit? Seriously, you know I hate it, dude. So my hand, if anybody could see my hands right now, they are like completely soaking wet from nerves. All right, I'm not even in the freaking plane. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting here thinking about it, I'm envisioning the plane going sideways and coming in and touching down and go, because they do touch and goes. It's Stol Nation. Yep. So go follow them on Instagram. It's STOL Nation, Stol Nation. But there's going to be plenty of vendors out that Sun and Fun Fly-In. It's like one of the biggest fly-ins in the world, I believe. It's like is it the second biggest fly-in or the biggest? Yeah. I'm not sure. Right here in our own.
I think what's that other one called? Is it Oshkosh? I can't remember. I think Oshkosh.
It's
Oshkosh
somewhere.
Out.
I just know it's really, really a big fly-in. I know that Swan Brewery in Lakeland is going to have a truck out there as well. Where we're going to be at. So, yep, you can come over and catch yourself a beer while supplies last. And then
the granddaddy's Oshkosh in oh my God, where the fuck's it at?
Mother Russia. It's in the homeland.
No. It's American. It's American.
I'm just messing with you, man.
It's in Wisconsin. God, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And then the second
goes right with the cheese festival. Go ahead.
And then the second is the Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo in Lakeland, Florida.
Yep. So come by, say hello. We're actually going to live stream on those 2 days. What we're thinking is it's going to be on a Wednesday on that Sun and Fun, and on a Friday. We just don't have the exact times, but we will let all of you know in plenty of time when we're going to be streaming live. We will be streaming live on YouTube Live. We will be streaming live on Facebook, and we will be streaming live on Twitter simultaneous. What do you call it?
Simulcast.
Simulcast. I can't get the damn word.
The Daily BM will be simulcast.
Simulcast for the first time ever. So
for the first time in human history,
you have 2 idiots that will be simulcasting across the web.
You'll be able to watch people take shits on planes.
Yes.
The Daily BM in the air.
You'll see more than a daily BM worth, man. I'll literally, man, I'm nervous, man. God dang, I am so nervous about that crap.
But fine.
But yeah, come by, stop by the tent. We'll have a black tent up with you'll see the Daily BM logos on the backdrop behind us. So stop in, say hello, give us a wave, buy us a beer, whatever, hey.
Buy Brad beers because bring sneak Brad in a Valium.
Oh God. Jeez, no, I don't want to do drugs. I want to feel the full horror and full effect. So what's going on, man? What are we talking about today? You said you had something you wanted to talk about.
No.
Talking about
no. Yeah, I mean, it was just a funny story. So I have a metal building on my property,
right?
And I just inside of it, I'm building out a workout area.
Okay.
Eventually, I wanted to become a full-fledged room. So I moved my Peloton over Christmas into the garage, but I haven't been using it because I've been doing more running lately. and other exercises. But last night as cross training, I wanted to do the Peloton. Because the row machine was like, I did that like the other day and it was fun, but it kind of jacked up my upper body strength routine a little bit because I'd, use so much upper body doing the rows. I didn't want to have that problem again. So I was like, I'm going to use the Peloton.
Okay.
Well, the Peloton requires internet service. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the heater off. It's getting too fucking hot in here.
You're melting your legs.
Yeah, I was.
All the hair
on my legs.
You don't need to shave anymore. But anyway.
So, basically, the Peloton requires internet, and the building is within Wi-Fi range, like really close, but it won't penetrate the metal building, the Wi-Fi signal. So there's no signal inside,
right?
Yeah. No penetration at all. So I'm like, all right, this is not a situation. This is not a problem because I've got like 150 feet of Cat 6 cable that I can run over to my little office and plug it into the switch and just hardwire the Peloton. Shouldn't take me no time at all. So I grabbed the cable, and I realized it doesn't have one of the ends is missing because I must have cut the cable. I did cut the cable shorter because I think it was off a 250 foot roll. It was pre-made. So I cut the bitch off and I'm like, I'm just going to wire this up real quick. No problem. I've done it hundreds of times before. I mean, not nearly as much as you do, but like, I've done it a lot.
Yeah, I did it for 17 years, man. I know that I can do that shit with my eyes closed, but go ahead.
So I get it cut out and it's got a rigid like piece of plastic in the middle. So you have to be careful when you cut that. So you're not nicking any of those little bitty tiny ass wires.
Right.
So I'm sitting out there and I put the connect together and then I put it in the tester and it's like failed. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And it wasn't failed like a crossover. It was failed like one of them was not making a connection. And once you put the connectors on, you can't take them off and like fix it and put them back on. You have to cut it and start all over again.
Right.
So I cut it and started all over again. This time, the son of a bitch, I got two of the wires like flip places when I pushed it in there. And because my old ass, even though I have glasses and stuff, it was hard for me to see the different colors. Like I really was having a challenging time. Mostly on the white and orange, the green and orange and the blue the white. Yeah, that's right. The white and orange, green and orange, and blue and orange. Like seeing those three was kind of challenging because it was hard to distinguish, especially between the green and orange and the blue and orange. Mm-hmm. So, I got it all put together, put it in there. It failed again. I was like, oh my freaking God. It took me 6 tries and 25 minutes to get the fucker wired up correctly. And finally I got it. And I was like, and it tested fine. And I didn't get enough of the sheath on the plug. So the fucking plug slid right the fuck off. So I had to do it again for the 7th time. It was lucky number 7. That one worked. It's great. Everything's functioning now. And I'm like, oh, dear sweet baby Jesus, what a bitch. There has got to be an easier way to do that shit. Like there's just got to be.
There's been different like hand tools and stuff like that, but I've come to find that a lot of those tools, they don't work well. Versus just doing it the old school way, cutting the sheath back, pulling the wires out, making sure they're all even. I actually formed a little trick, so this might help you. So anybody who ever cuts Cat 5 or Cat 6, most of you probably just go to like, the store, Staples, whatever, Office Depot, and you just go and you buy a 5-foot, 10-foot, 15-foot, 25-foot patch cable. But anybody, that wants to like make custom lengths, and I know like Mike is one of these guys. He's I call him the zip tie king. This guy zip ties like 8,000 zip ties under a desk.
You need that shit to be organized.
I know he's just that guy. If you guys know what I'm talking about, he's that guy. All right. So
now, if you look under my desk now, Brad, you would be very happy because my desk wiring is a fucking nightmare.
I wouldn't be happy about it, but I bet like you
would be ecstatic at how clusterfuck this is underneath my desk right now.
Our old office, dude, you couldn't take a 90-degree turn or any type of turn of that thing with at least having 5 freaking zip ties like back to back. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you only need 2 here. There's like,
but you never saw any wires anywhere. No, everything looked magical. Everything looked magical, like it wasn't plugged in. Like you have no idea how it worked.
At first glance, when you get under, I was about to go somewhere. That when you get under his desk, and
baby.
it looks like one big cable. But
Yep.
it did. I mean, I'm not saying it was good looking. It was just obsessive. But in my book, as a person that wires out in the field, I was just like, this is a little much, but whatever. For each his own.
I just enjoyed the fact that if anybody tries to steal my shit, they can't.
God,
It
you
could take them
cannot
fucking
steal
forever to get the
anything.
wires.
Yeah.
They might be able to get the piece, but they're still going to spend that $70, $80 to get the power supply. So
Yeah,
at least for the fuck
you
'em.
are never going to get his battery backup, power supply, whatever, because it is zip tied to shit and back, man. I mean, you're
Yep.
going to need like bolt cutters to get that damn thing off. It'd probably be smarter just to cut the wires and haul ass. You know what I mean?
That's what they need to do, but then they had to buy the power
I
supply.
know, then they got to redo the whole thing. But
And
all you
that
got to do.
defeats the purpose for them.
So back to what I was saying real quick, because I don't want to bore people talking about wiring, but maybe some people might like it. But you just basically cut the sheath back, right? And you pull it, and I think there's 4 pair, right?
Okay, you pull the sheath
4
back.
pair, because
Gotcha.
there's orange, green, blue, and brown, right?
Yes.
4 pair. So
Yep.
you just
Eight wires, 4 pairs.
8 wires, 4 pairs. So you basically smooth those out into a straight line, and then you take a pair of very sharp, just regular house shears.
Yep,
Cut
did
them
that.
the same length, and then
Same length.
while you're holding that, then you just put that. You put the tip in, on top of the wires, and then you just literally push it into the crimper, and boom, you're done.
Yep. That's what I did. Because I watched you do it. Yeah, seven times.
Hey, 7
You know
times the
what? I'll
charm.
tell you what kept happening. But I finally realized what was happening because that outdoor cable has a heavy sheath on the outside that's to protect the wire, and then it's got an inside sheath that's to protect the moisture, waterproof.
Right.
And then it's got a not metal, but it's got a plastic core running in the middle that has basically, it looked like a star, like an 8-point star with each wire coming down its own point. What was happening is when I was cutting that piece of plastic in the middle, or when I was cutting the sheath, sometimes I would nick one of those wires and it would cause a fault because I was cutting too deeply, because I didn't have a good way of getting that sheath off, because the cutters that I have are designed for indoor cat cable, because it's got a pre-made setting where you just click it shut and you can just spin it, and it just basically just shaves the outside of the sheath and you can pop it right off and it doesn't damage the wires. But because that other one was so thick on the outside, and then the second layer was so thin, when I was going through the second layer, I was nicking the damn wires and I was fucking one of them up.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
what was
really
causing the
harder with
fault.
outdoor stuff because of the fact I remember wiring up an industrial plant once. I had to run like 150 feet, and then put a switch in, and then or a repeater of some sort. But I remember having to wire this stuff. And let me tell you about this shit. Okay, not only did it have that thick, I'm talking like probably 1/4 inch thick sheathing, right? 1/4 inch.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I mean,
was
it was
thick, yeah.
fat. But they put a gel, this gel on the inside. Okay, so when you cut the wire open, the gel would spooge everywhere. It would spooge everywhere. So you'd have this shit all. You'd have this sticky shit all over your hands, right? So imagine you trying to do that with gloves, because you didn't want to get that sticky shit all over your
exactly.
fucking hands, man.
I mean,
And I can't tell you, the first time I wired that, dude, I wanted to kill somebody by the end of the day, because it took me all day to do like 4 major runs. You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh my God. Because if you don't cut it just right, like you said, bink, you nick one, done. You got to cut it again. So you always had to give yourself a couple service loops just in case. You know what I mean? And that's another pet peeve in wiring. Hey, if you're an asshole and you don't put service loops in, and I'm not talking to the technicians that even come to your house, and you pay them $100 a fucking drop. I don't pay anybody to drop. I got to do it myself now.
I just do it, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I know there's people that pay it. If they don't give you a service loop, they're a dick of a wiring.
That is my biggest fucking pet peeve, is if I have to come in after somebody and they didn't have the courtesy to run a service loop. And for those of you that don't have any experience at all a service loop is about 1 to 2 feet of extra cabling up behind the box, so that way when you have to switch out connectors, because sometimes with humidity and stuff like that, the connectors can become faulty.
Yep.
You have enough
rust
get bad. You have enough extra cable, so that way you don't have to redo the entire run. So if you're working on your own place, always include a service loop. I like to have like a foot and a half minimum.
Yeah, see, I always go
I
2 to
don't.
3 feet, and I
Yeah,
I put a foot and I put a foot and a half up or 2 feet up in the attic, and then I'll put
yeah,
a foot down, and I'll push up into the wall, and then I got to,
yeah,
and then that way, if I need to move it anywhere,
yeah.
like down the wall somewhere, go back up and pull it down another
You'll
wall,
have
I'm
enough
okay.
extra.
I
Yeah,
got enough room to make that turn, that 90, and come back down another angle.
yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I mean, you're normally going to repull anyway, or you're going to remove it or leave it there and repull another run. But still, it's still
If you
bullshit.
have to.
Yeah, if you have to.
If you have to. But I like to have it there because sometimes you need to be up and running kind of quick. So if you have that there, you can fix it and get it going. Because oftentimes the cable's not bad itself. Like you don't normally have to replace it. Plus, it's cost a lot more money to do an entirely new run as opposed to doing a just a repair on the outlet itself, like the Cat 5 cabling and stuff like that. I also do that with like electrical, like I leave a foot. And what I meant by a foot and a half is on each end. So basically, it's 2 feet, 2 to 4 feet.
And normally in the electrical box, I'll, like for instance, if I wire like anything electrical, I normally do direct run. And the reason why is because on electrical, you're normally not gonna replace it. It's also it makes for a cleaner panel. Like especially if you're going into in a panel environment, you want to make sure the run is direct. Usually,
yeah. On that, yes,
you can push a little more slack up into the wall. But the problem with electrical, if you do it like you do Ethernet, the cables are fatter, they're bigger, and if you put a nail in the wall and you splice it, you're fucked. You got to not only can you electrocute yourself, but you could actually have to repull the damn thing all over.
Yeah, you could also burn the whole house down.
But the roof
cause an arc in the thing.
Yeah. I mean, in electricity, man, I mean, people, more people die by 120 volt, 110 volt than any other electrical out the year because it's the most common run.
Well, people don't fear 120 because everybody's been shocked, at some point by an outlet on one side, but what they don't realize is that you're using two hands. So what happens is the current goes through your body as opposed to just shocking your one hand. So you're okay if it's on one side of your body. Like if you touch something and you get that zap between your finger and your pinky, yeah, it hurts like hell. It sucks, but it's going through that loop. But if you have it on one side and the other side, it's going through your heart, and that's what will stop your heart instantly.
Yeah, man. I mean, what you don't want to do is be like from one point. You don't want to have 2 points of contact when you're working.
2 points of contact.
I think it's called 2 points of contact. Don't quote me on that. Electricians will probably, come back and crush me for it. But you don't want to have your hand like on a capacitor and then have your hand on a piece of metal on the other side because then you become that. Because electricity is going to take the path of least resistance. So if it's and your body is just, I mean, and people don't realize this. Your body is water. I mean, it's water. And what is the most conductive thing? Water, guys. Water. I mean, and it's going to use you as the grounding element. So, if you're making 2 points of contact, one, and it's the path of least resistance, which it usually is, you're going to be the one that gets killed. But I can't tell you how many training videos over 17 years being out in the field in industrial automation that I would see people. You see people get just blown to bits. I mean, like turned to ash. I've
vaporized,
and that's why, like, even at home, people don't realize this, man. You don't trust turning the light switch off. You know what I mean? Kill it at the breaker, guys. I'm telling you, man. Guilty as shit. I have done it. I have literally turned the light switch off in my first marriage, and I was out there doing something, and they came and hit this light switch, almost lit me the hell up. You know what I mean? And I was like,
and tape it, and if you tape it off, tape off the breaker. Just throw a piece of a duct tape over the top of it, so that way people know, like, it's why is this off? Like that way they will hopefully stop and be like, someone taped this for a reason, not like, let me remove the tape and turn on this, and you're fucked anyways.
Like most people.
I'll tell you the way that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you the way I shocked myself the most. Before I was like, okay, from here on out, I'm always cutting the breaker. It would be I would go to put the plug back in the wall, like pushing it in, and I would just happen to reach and I'd change it. Like if you look at my screen, I would change instead of pushing it in like this, I would grab it like this on each side, and it'd be like, and you'd be like, oh shit, god,
shit hurts,
dang it, what? Ow, woo,
arm goes numb.
Yeah. Yep. And it'd be like, oh man, I cannot believe I just did that. Like I know better, So I was like, all right, cutting the power from here on out. Like I'm just done with it. Like,
like I said, I've learned that shit the hard way. So I literally, I mean, they call it in the industrial world, and I'm sure they still call it the same. It's called lockout, tag out. And what you should really do, they're so cheap, guys. I mean, seriously, this is the best advice I can ever give you if you're trying to do home stuff. All right. First of all, you should always hire a licensed electrician if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Don't try to be Mr. Joe Cool. Hey, I'm macho. I looked it up on Google and I can do it. You know what I mean? If you
watching a YouTube video is not hiring a professional.
Yeah, you got to seriously. Yeah, watching YouTube does not make you a pro. All right. Don't get me wrong, man. I took apart my washing machine and my dryer, and it works, and I did great. You know, back in the day. That's a totally different animal. But when you're talking
you have
about,
a little bit of proficiency in it too, though.
Correct. I've been in the field. I've been in automation, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you this, man. Hire a licensed electrician. Don't try to do it yourself if you have no experience in it. That being said, you can go to if you have experience, you should already know this. You can get like the lockout tag outs. They're pretty cheap. You just basically, it's a screw and you put a key lock on it, and then nobody can freaking flip the switch on you at all. You have to be the one to remove it. So, and keep the key in your pocket. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people leave the key sitting right next to the lockout tag out box. And I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking, man? You know what I mean?
Speaking of safety, I just wanted to throw this out there. It has nothing to do with the topic that we're on, but it struck me as such a brilliant idea. If you are benching at home and working out at home, do not put the weight locks on the bar.
Oh, great advice.
Because I was watching a video. This guy was going for his single rep max 350 pounds. He was in his garage and he pulled up the bar. And as he pulled it up, his little kid ran over and punched him in the dick. And the guy dropped the weight on him. He immediately took it out of him. And luckily he didn't have him on there, and he was able to roll to drop the weights off so he could get out from under the bar. But I was like, Jesus, that is such smart advice.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a cage like on my rack.
Yeah, so you can drop down on the cage.
So I have the bars that are, you know, I put them right above my chest level, so I can't go all the way to my chest and bounce off my chest because I don't even know if that's proper form. I mean, I've seen on YouTube and shit like that.
Bouncing off your chest?
Yeah, I wasn't taught that way.
You're not supposed to bounce off your chest.
Yeah, I wasn't taught that way. I was taught to come like within an inch of your chest and then push back up, like when I was taught back in the day. Control the weights.
Yep.
You know, and you know they told me that your single rep max is kind of useless. I mean, it's a lot of bravado, but it's not.
Just for going, yeah, look at me, man.
You know, it's not actually beneficial, and then you can get hurt a lot easier that way when you're trying those single rep maxes. I mean, yeah, it sounds impressive, but it's moving functional weight for me. But I was never thought about just leaving the clips off so you could roll out. And I was like, ooh, that is a brilliant piece of advice right there. Because I would have never thought about it. Because I was always like, clip them so you have them safety. But, you know, if you're doing that, I mean, that might be a good safety.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. When I saw that one, I went, man, damn, dude. You know, at least you could slide the weight to the right and then drop it out of your other hand. And it'll go to the ground the other way no matter what, because gravity doesn't lie. It goes where it goes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could just clip one side, and as long as you have the one side and you just know to roll that direction or like shift it that way to try to get the weight out. But
listen, and one other thing, you know, I saw the other day, and then, you know, we'll cut out we'll stop on the safety stuff for the day. We're going to call this one DIY safety tips. You know what I mean? That's going to be the name of this show. But another thing too, man, that like really bothers me that I've seen a lot of is when people pull out of their garage and they're not paying attention and they run their kid over.
Oh my God, yes.
Guys, man, I know it's hard to see them, but these backup cameras on the back of your car, now almost every car has one. I'm pretty sure almost every car comes standard with them.
I think they're required to have it now.
Yeah, I think they're required. Listen, slow the fuck down and pay attention to your backup camera. I am so obsessed with running over a kid. You know what I mean? Like like
you want to?
No, like I depends on the kid. But
it's a lifetime goal of mine. It's
what time are you coming over? What time are you coming over? Stand right by the car.
You are getting close to that age where that becomes a viability.
Here comes that kid. I'm gonna run that little son of a bitch over. But
I can finally blame it on the Alzheimer's.
I have dementia. What'd you say? I don't even know I was driving. But
I got confused on the pedal. I don't know which one it was. So and then I tried to get off of him, so I backed up, and then I thought I went too far, so I had to go forward again. And then I realized I hit him again. I did it 9 times. I'm so sorry.
What'd you say your name was? What'd you say your name was?
Yeah.
I love cornflakes. Yes, they're delicious. But you know, so it's like, seriously, guys, all joking around aside, pay attention, look both ways, slow down when you're in neighborhoods, man. You know, it's not because I'm old either, so haha, the old joke, dick. But
Oh no, that pisses me off.
but
people
I
speed through
go slow
neighborhoods.
through neighborhoods now. I you know, I even go below the speed limit at times. Like my neighborhood, actually, believe it or not, has a high speed limit. It's 25 through here.
Mine's
That's
35.
that's what's posted. I'm like, if I'm going 25 to 30 through this neighborhood, dude, I'm bolting. You know what I mean? You don't have time to react if a kid runs out with a ball behind a fence, you know, comes out, you know, flying into the road, and that happens all the time.
Oh, 100%.
So I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to go 15 no matter what. And people get pissed. Oh, well, get pissed off. I don't care. But yeah, pay attention, man, when you're in neighborhoods. You know, I always freaking feel like a dick when I'm out on the main road because people fly down this road. So I love it when the cops are out there and they're doing their radar trap over here off of old Highway 37 because there's a little speed trap right by that church. And they nail people all day long. So on my walks, I just smile at people. I'm like, hey, you should have slowed down, dickhead. You know what I mean? Because they fly through this road, man. They're doing 50 down that road. And it's clearly marked 30 miles an hour. So that's a serious ticket, 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. So anyway, so we hope you enjoyed today's DIY, you know, tips of safety. And Mikey, got anything to add before we get out of here?
Hey, everybody, have a great day. And remember, check us out in Sun and Fun.
Sun and Fun. It's coming up.
Live stream.
Come out and see us, man. Even, you know, if you're lucky, we might actually
come by, say hello.
Yeah. We might pull you on air during the live podcast. You never know. All right, get out. You're 2 minutes. No, just kidding.
Let's go.
2 minutes of fame. I want to come on your show.
No.
And with that, guys, don't forget to head over to thedailybm.com. You can follow us on all our socials, and you can also go ahead and like, subscribe, all that cool shit. So anyway, we're out of here. So we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Have a good one.
Deuces.